Hi, this is Norman. Today we're looking at Psalm 119, verses 121 to 128. Let's go ahead and we'll start looking at verse 121. I have done judgment and justice. Leave me not to mine oppressors. Be surety for thy servant for good. Let not the proud oppress me. Mine eyes fail for thy salvation and for the word of thy righteousness. Deal with thy servant according unto thy mercy, and teach me thy statutes. I am thy servant. Give me understanding that I may know thy testimonies. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way. Well, here, at least for me, I look at verse 121, I think, boy, that's a bold statement. I have done what is just and right. I don't know that I've done that consistently. I try to do what's right. I want to follow in God's will and God's word as we've been reading, but it's hard to be consistent and do that day in and day out. So I have trouble wanting to say I have done what is just and right, but I understand the prayer here. I am attempting to follow God's word and God's will, so I don't want him to lead me to the oppressors. I don't want him to lead me to the wolves, so to speak. Verse 122 goes on and says, give your servant a pledge for good. Be surety. Don't let the insolent suppress me. Don't let the proud suppress me. God, be my protector. Be my shield, as we talked about, I believe, yesterday. My hope, as verse 123 says, my eyes long for your salvation, for the fulfillment of your righteous promises. You have given your word that you'll be righteous. I know I have no salvation outside of you, so I long for your salvation, God. I long for what you have to offer. I long for who you are. So I have attempted to do what's right. I'm trying to follow your word and your will, but I am just a human. So I need what verse 124 talks about. So deal with your servant according to your mercy, according to your love and mercy. Teach me your statutes. Teach me your word. God, I need you to be merciful, to love me, to take care of me, because as a sinful, fleshful man, I struggle to be what you want me to be each day. So I need you to deal with me not according to my actions, but according to your love and mercy. And verse 125 goes on and points out, it reminds me of my relationship with God. Where do I stand? It says, I am your servant. Give me understanding that I may know your testimonies. God, I understand my place before you. You are the creator of heaven and earth. You are the one who made me, who created me. You love me. And I need to respond as a servant who owes everything to you. I don't live and breathe outside of God. And I know that, and I want to be seeking to know more about him, more about who he is. Verse 126 goes on and says, it's time for the Lord to act. It's time for the Lord to work. For they've made void thy law. Your law has been broken. People have consistently broken God's word, and they consistently do that. But God is a God, yes, of love and mercy and kindness and all those things, but also a God of justice, a God of judgment. And my response to that is say, God, I love your commandments above gold. God, I want to be obedient. Your judgment is right, but I want to consider all your teachings right. I want to hate every false way, as we read about there in the end. God, draw me into your word, into your will. I know your judgment is upon me and upon all of mankind, and it's right and just. But God, I want to do what your word says. As we start out in this section, I have done what is judgment and justice. I've done what is just and right. I've made an effort to try to be the servant that you want me to be. And God, then in my failures, I rely upon your mercy. I am your servant, and I ask you, I beg you, to deal with me from your love and mercy, not from my works and the judgment that I deserve. So, as we've looked at Psalm 119, we consistently go back to God's word, God's promises, God's teachings, God's commandments. That's our foundation. God will ultimately deal with us according to his promises, and his promises are that he will deal with us according to his righteousness, according to his according to His Word, which is why it's important for us to continue to study it and to learn and to throw ourselves at the feet of Jesus each day. Hope you're having a great day, and tomorrow we'll look at 129.